What's done in the dark is always revealed in the light.
In order for you and me to devise some kind of method or strategy to offset some of the events or a repetition of the events that have taken place here in Los Angeles recently.
History is always much darker than we are taught. People like Malcolm X are snuffed out before their time.
We have to go to the root. We have to go to the cause. Dealing with the condition itself is not enough. And it is because of our effort toward getting straight to the root that people oftentimes think we're dealing in hate.
Malcolm X's death was covered up by the FBI, and the truth about his murder would be shrouded in deception for many years.
Who taught you to hate the texture of your hair? Who taught you to hate the color of your skin to such extent that you bleach to get like the white man? Who taught you to hate the shape of your nose and the shape of your lips? Who taught you to hate yourself from the top of your head to the soles of your feet? Who taught you to hate your own kind? Who taught you to hate the race that you belong to? So much so that you don't want to be around each other. No, before you come asking Mr. Muhammad, does he teach hate? You should ask yourself, who taught you to hate being what God gave you? And I, for one, as a Muslim, believe that the white man is intelligent enough. If he were made to realize how black people really feel and how fed up we are without that old compromise and sweet talk. Stop sweet talking him. Tell him how you feel. Tell him what kind of hell you've been catching, and let him know that if he's not ready to clean his house up, if he's not ready to clean his house up, he shouldn't have a house. It should catch on fire and burn down.
On February 21, 1965, Malcolm X was preparing to address the Organization of Afro-American Unity in Manhattan's Audubon Ballroom. Someone in the 400-person audience yelled, "Get your hand out of my pocket!" As Malcolm and his bodyguards tried to quell the disturbance, a man rushed towards the stage and shot him once in the chest with a sawed-off shotgun. Two other men charged the stage, firing semi-automatic handguns. Malcolm X was pronounced dead at 3:30 p.m. The autopsy identified 21 gunshot wounds to the chest, left shoulder, arms, and legs, including 10 buckshots from the initial shotgun blast.
But don't scare Negroes today with no badge or no white skin or no white sheet or no white anything else. The police the same way. They put their club upside your head and then turn around and accuse you of attacking them. Every case of police brutality against a Negro follows the same pattern. They attack you, bust you all upside your mouth, and then take you to court and charge you with assault. What kind of democracy is that? What kind of freedom is that? What kind of social or political system is it when a black man has no voice in court, has nothing on his side other than what the white man chooses to give him? My brothers and sisters, we have to put a stop to this. And it will never be stopped until we stop it ourselves. They attack the victim. And then the criminal who attacked the victim accuses the victim of attacking him. Yes, sir. This is American justice. Yes, sir. That's right. This is American democracy. Yes, and those of you who are familiar with it know that in America, democracy is hypocrisy. Right. Now, if I'm wrong, put me in jail. But if you can't prove that a democracy is not hypocrisy, then don't put your hands on me. We are peaceful people. We are loving people. We love everybody who loves us. But we don't love anybody who doesn't love us. White people don't realize how frustrated Negroes have become.
Malcolm X was a legendary orator, charismatic, controversial, revolutionary.
To lift the struggle for freedom of the Negro in this country from the level of civil rights to the level of human rights.
A letter given to Malcolm X's daughters could hold proof the NYPD and the FBI conspired to have him killed.
I am relieved that I am able to share this truth with the world today.
Reginald Wood reads the words of his cousin, former undercover cop Raymond Wood, who died in November. He wrote that letter in 2011 to be released upon his death.
It was my assignment to draw the two men into a felonious federal crime so that they could be arrested by the FBI.
Those men were members of Malcolm X's security detail and were arrested days before his assassination.
There was no security to prevent the gunmen from coming into the building.
3 members of the Nation of Islam were convicted of the murder. The Manhattan District Attorney's Office began a preliminary review last February. After the letter's release, it says their review remains active and ongoing. As for the NYPD and the FBI, they say they have turned over all their relevant records to the DA and will cooperate.
My house was bombed. It was bombed by the black Muslim movement upon the orders of Elijah Muhammad. Now they had planned to do it from the front and the back so that I couldn't get out. They covered the front completely, the front door. Then they had come to the back, but instead of getting directly in the back of the house and throwing it this way, they stood at a 45-degree angle and tossed it at the window so it glanced and went on to the ground. And the fire hit the window, and it woke up my second oldest baby. But the fire burned on the outside of the house. But had that one gone through that window, it would have fallen on a 6-year-old girl, a 4-year-old girl, and a 2-year-old girl. And I'm going to tell you, if it had done it, I'd taken my rifle and gone after anybody in sight. I would not wait. And I say that because of this. The police know the criminal operation of the black Muslim movement because they have thoroughly infiltrated it.
Malcolm X was essentially murdered by the FBI. The United States has been behind some of the most diabolical tragedies in American history, and Malcolm X stands as one such tragedy.
In his letter, Raymond Wood openly says one of the men, Thomas Johnson, was innocent and was arrested to, quote, protect my cover and the secrets of the FBI and the NYPD, unquote. Ray Wood's letter echoes claims in recent books by Manning Marable and Les Payne that some of Malcolm's actual assassins were never charged.
When it comes to a deep-rooted, racially divided country, atrocities will be committed and lives will be destroyed and taken out of greed and supremacy. Malcolm X, like so many others who were voices for change and empowerment, was killed for his activism, message, and convictions. Not all of his contemporaries shared his method in achieving his goals, but the one thing that no one can doubt is that Malcolm X was a voice for the voiceless, a leader and defender of his people, and a revolutionary who wanted a better future. Those in power afraid of change, afraid of empowerment, may kill people, but they cannot kill the dream or the hope that dream represents. As Victor Hugo once said, no force on earth can stop an idea whose time has come.